friendly neighborhood host, JT Wheatley here again, back for another episode of The Classics. This time with 30 Days a Night by Steve Niles and Ben Templesmith. This was a classic horror miniseries released from August to October of 2002 for 3 issues that tells the story of a town in Barrow, Alaska, which is notable for being so far north that 30 days out of the year it doesn't see the sun. It's in complete darkness. And normally it's a pretty peaceful town led by a husband and wife sheriff team. But it turns out some vampires have discovered this and realize, a town filled with humans that they can feast on for 30 days? They come on down. And it turns into a classic horror tale that's truly innovative. Because when the vampires show up, they don't just invade the town. They make efforts to shut off communications, cut off power. I completely isolate the town for that 30 days, so it becomes their little buffet, if you will. And it's just wonderfully written. Niles is a great writer. You could do it, of course, with there's a great setting. But also the characters, like I said, the husband and wife sheriff team are great because they're a truly loving couple who do the best they can to protect the townsfolk. The vampires are great, especially when some of the older ones show up and have different ideas of what these vampires thought of when they decided to invade this town. And Ben Templesmith's art is just downright creepy. It's classic horror style that just really sets the mood for the entire story, and a great read from beginning to end for just 3 issues. Nice, simple, and compact, and just a classic horror story. And some fun backstory on this comic book. Steve Niles originally had made this as a pitch, as a movie. And when it wasn't successful, he figured, I'll make it into a comic book. He teamed up with Ben Templesmith with his classic comic book story. And sure enough, it was so good that Hollywood came calling, and they ended up making a fairly decent adaptation in 2007, directed by David Slade. That, not as good as the comic book, but it was kind of neat that, he wanted to make a movie from this. So he made a comic book instead because no one wanted to make it. And they go, wait, let's make this movie now. Sometimes that's the best way to do things. And the series itself ended up being a huge success for Steve Niles and Ben Templesmith. They ended up getting lots of work since then. And of course, there are numerous sequels of this franchise after the fact. It's turned into a nice little horror franchise on top of everything else. But the story itself remains a true classic. It's a nice horror story, great vampire story, just a cool idea, beautiful art and writing by Steve Niles and Ben Templesmith. And honestly, it's a pretty quick read too. 3 issues, but you can get it using a collective value for just around $15. And all in all, this is a true classic. So definitely check it out. 30 Days a Night by Steve Niles and Ben Templesmith. And now it is August 15th, 2019. Time for the favorite comic of the week. Once in Future by Kieran Gillen and Dan Mora, which is a neat update on the King Arthur legend that finds some mysterious figures discovering this ancient scabbard in a lake in England. When news of this gets out, this woman, Grandmother McGuire, calls on her son, her grandson, to come help her, and they end up in a crazy battle with monsters. And of course, a twist in the Arthurian myth that you don't quite see coming. Kieran Gillen does a great job adapting his Arthurian myth, adding some neat twists to it while actually staying true to the original tale. While also in some new characters, Graham McGuire is just great. I mean, she's an old lady, but she knows her way around a rifle like anyone, so she's a lot of fun to listen to read. While Dan Moyer did some beautiful artwork, especially when some of the mystical creatures start showing up, along with some great action sequences. So this is a very unique and fun original comic book that just came out, and definitely worth checking out. So something a little new and different. And it's always great to add to the comic book medium. And with that, that'll be the end of this episode of The Classics. Once again, rest assured, I got 9 episodes in the bank right now. I'm still working on my last script. And once I get that episode in the bank, we will be launching back into regular history comic books, for better or for worse. But till then, we'll probably have our classic episodes next week, depending on how far we go. But till then, go out and enjoy yourself a good comic book. And of course, go out and read or reread 30 Days a Night by Steve Niles and Ben Templesmith. That is a true classic.